and walk away with a win. But a part of me is worried that G2 are going to be fired up after finally putting an end to the game that wouldn't end.
Mark's really surprised. I see what we see here. I have to agree with the desk. Obviously, I hate agreeing with Vincent as well, being that I hate an Omen compared to an Astra. But lovely to see as the kills have fallen in. G2 has already taken all of the control that they want onto A. They just did it through short, and the plant is going to come anytime soon. That wall preventing anyone pushing from the defender spawn. And nukkye just going for the kills. It would be very interesting for him to get them. Trying also to work onto that ultimate.
Last player.
Yeah, that's a bit of a rough.
Thank you. Yes.
Zesh got bodied today.
Let's talk about it in this round because probably it's going to be an easy one for G2. Vincent, you need to know something because he did this to me on a quiz. I don't know what the question was, but he referred to Omen blind, the paranoia, as a flash, and it's not a flash, it's a blind. So do your homework, kids. Do not be like Sesht. Anyway. With this push coming from Futbolist, they're not gonna find much, not to say nothing. nukkye getting the kill onto STERBEN. keloqz finishing Kiwi and also mojj, and that's 2 4Ks for keloqz.
Got this ability to have come back into this series in such an impactful way.
Yeah, and Lothar was mentioning the fact that a Jett is so important, especially on this map, is because of the ability that she has to, you know, create the pressure onto the side and actually, you know, being the head of the spear. Isn't it called like that?
Yeah, head of the spear, tip of the spear, either one. Spear.
Okay, exactly, that one. It's gonna be that exactly for his team, and even on this bonus round, looks like G2 has already decided what they want to do, especially now that we have keloqz just banging onto side. He was gonna finish him.
Oh, it's all a little bit awkward, right? But yeah. I always trust in Kiwi. I always trusted him getting away with murder. Still, this is getting close. STERBEN will swing in and leave it all on nukkye. Out on a bit of an island right now. And with only the heal in his pocket, you know, he can take some damage and keep himself healthy, but he's got no way of slowing down this rotate.
Oh my god.
Wins that fight though. mojj brushed aside, and so STERBEN with the reposition, wrapping all the way back through into market now. You know, starting to cross out silent. You're looking to swing this, and nukkye wanting to take the fight, wanting to close it there and then, does get shut down.
The fact that he gets that round, even though it was a bonus for G2, and you know, rightfully, it should have been for Futbolist. I'll tell you later about this because keloqz opened a little bit onto A.
Yeah, I like that they're using this pressure, right? Trying to work the space, making sure that keloqz's death is not in vain. And with AvovA wrapping in, that's secured the A bomb site. Now, plant coming in. AvovA going on a bit of a tear. This Astra looking good. And koldamenta there to close. I'm curious, Kikuka, where do you stand?
The G2 is playing this with 30 seconds only to play with, and the Executor is going to come anytime soon. Now, AvovA only has 1 star left. That is a little bit concerning. You know, they didn't take that space with mixwell onto mid. That is something that we're going to see a lot. And they're investing a lot. Also, the Seekers onto this round. mojj is going to find keloqz, but this should be an easy round for G2.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, mixwell wrapping. That should seal the deal. Here he is, just going to deliver a nice, clean double, never even worried. And yeah, you know,
this is still 100% because you can tell when a Jett is tired, you know, and like burned out, but he's not at all. It's been a long match, but still he knows that it's ASCENT, it's a different map, it's same team, but still out there to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, even if you kind of compare the, you know, like how it's gone for him over Kiwi. Kiwi started strong and had to keep that up all damn day, whereas keloqz, he wasn't really present in the first map and was obviously feeling the pressure to step it up, but it means he's been going at 100% for less time than Kiwi has, right? And he's been so essential to so many of these rounds. I really hope he can keep it up, but you're asking a lot of the player, you know, 3 hours in with a whole map still to play to deliver those same performances. nukkye with the opener here. AvovA's cleared out the wine cellar, and this A-bomb site's looking good. Even though Kiwi wins that mid-fight, you've still got to try and contain A. STERBEN will do what he can, but tagged out by AvovA. And so A falls to the hands of G2.
So that's the thing, when you're on your own with an Omen to defend the side, even to create a little bit of pressure, it's just almost impossible. Like, you don't have a utility to play around. Okay, all of a sudden we're in a 2v2. It still is a tough situation for Futbolist, as AvovA even has the Cosmic Divide to play around. That is something that we're not going to be seeing from Futbolist just because of what we were mentioning.
Last player standing.
Time's ticking.
This is getting
Nice
close.
position.
This is getting worrisome. AvovA wants to try and stop that defuse. They get off of it. They swing it together. And a wonderful little play there out of qRaxs and SasuKe. They know that that swing has to come through soon. You could have...
Pretty standard G2 now. Just going back to basics of what they were doing on Breeze.
Oh, that is lovely out of keloqz. The little tap. Any more in the chamber? Any more charged up by keloqz? He decides eventually, I'm just going to let this this floating Sova go. I'm just going to let him get away, and I'm going to join my teammates wrapping this B site. They're starting to push down the lone qRaxs, and even though he's good for the first, now that cosmic divide coming in, it's shut down all the sight lines for the retake. Plant coming through. Spike now down.
Spike planted.
SasuKe and mojj, they're going to have a real rough time here. This wall is causing you so many problems. You don't know what's happening on the other side. And really, you might just have to bow out completely.
Yeah. It's the moment to walk out and just think about the next round. And this is something that G2 is going to be able to do over and over again. Like, even though they're attacking, they know exactly how to create the pressure and how to break their defense. So the question is, now that Futbolist knows, they could expect it, but now that they know 100%, how are they going to respond to that?
Yeah, you're hoping they can at least get away. And it's looking good for that, right? They're going to be able to hold on to the rifles, keep them in play, but there's no ignoring. This is a pretty ferocious start for...
They've been literally one round away going 2-0.
I've got your trail.
Seekers coming in. Oh.
This is beautiful.
keloqz is just finding so many open kills. We were seeing it when they were talking about the ADR on the graphic, and it's very interesting because keloqz, for example, on the defense does not usually find a lot of open kills because he is, for example, mixwell that I think is on at like a 24%. And when you have, you know, such stars in the team, this is literally what happens. That doesn't mean that on the attack he doesn't do his job. And he's proving it right now. mixwell obviously waiting here on mid. This is something that you see every round. This is literally the way the G2 play. I'm surprised that Futbolist does not know that.
The way that mixwell plays this, it's like a chess game to him, you know? It's just being one step ahead in the right position.
Gambit.
Yeah, you know, the kills are easy for him. If you're just shooting them in the back of the head, they never even get the chance to fight.
Oh my god, two with like a...
No, luckily enough, right, that other one was AvovA, but yeah, for a moment, I was thinking the same thing, and I'm like, bro, you did not just do that.
Yeah, right. This is impossible for SasuKe. I'm actually surprised that he's not going to go on the safer here. Because the one before, obviously, carefully just avoiding any kind of first contacts, and obviously mixwell is gathering that information. keloqz is going to be, you know, too curious.
That was a chef's kiss moment, right? You bait with the first peek. Sheriff comes in from qRaxs and able to secure that early advantage. You do have the res, so you can afford to be pretty overzealous in some of these early peaks on Futbolist. And we'll even have nukkye's coming through as well on the other side. They've both got reses, but this is going to come to favor G2 in the long run, right? They're back in this 5-on-3 now. qRaxs trying to do what he can. It's two from him on the Sheriff, but it shouldn't be enough. Kiwi all alone in the 1-on-3, so far removed from the B play that's going on. He's going to need a miracle, and with mixwell having spotted him, they know where he is now. Ooh, all right. I should know better than to write this guy off out of rounds.
He's going to be able to do a lot of damage still. I think the round for him is extremely complicated. He's only 31 HP. nukkye has it completely spotted. Please do not turn around, nukkye. Thank you very much. Yes, exactly. That is the nukkye that we all know. And the problem is, when you start on the defense and you do not manage to get more than 1-2 rounds, not even in a row, the fact that you cannot afford to buy and actually play rounds the way that you want to play them, you know, it's kind of sad.
My heart really goes out to STERBEN. He just gave us such a good series all day, and I am so worried that that one round with the one missed snakebite is going to come back to haunt him now and forever. And it shouldn't, because let me tell you, like, he was the whole reason it was so competitive the entire damn time.
We can talk about that. We also need to talk about how G2 turned this around.
Oh, most definitely.
Because the same way that we can say it must feel, you know, devastating for Futbolist to probably, just by the looks of it, going to be losing it here 2-1. The fact that G2 started losing and they were so close to losing on so many occasions. Props to them.
Oh, mojj, he's got quick feet on him.
He usually gets the kill. If you know koldamenta, you know that he's probably going to be on there. But we're retrieving his stars now, placing them again.
Look at Kiwi, though, with this aggressive line, and AvovA was never ready for that.
This is a problem.
Quite an opener to have found, right? That's removed a lot of potential out of G2 in terms of what they can run here right out of the gate, how many angles they can cut down.
But the fact that Kiwi could not get the operator until the 10th round.
No, that in and of itself is heartbreaking, right? That's where he's done his best work.
No, but also, you know, like, if you're dependent of that, of course, is ASCENT and yada, 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 but, you know.
Cage triggered.
30
mojj
seconds
trying to
left.
be the Nats here.
Yeah, they've called for the rotate. Everyone's here for Futbolist. This should be their way to a third unless someone pops off, someone goes huge. koldamenta and mixwell, couple of kills apiece. SasuKe does what he can, but koldamenta, the rapid keloqz, it's all getting weird. It's all getting wild. Kiwi versus keloqz, a battle as old as time. These two rivaling each other across all the maps. And keloqz closes it. It's a changing of the guard, a tipping of the scales, because finally keloqz is starting to reliably beat the guy who was wrecking him in head-to-heads on that first map of Icebox. Well, now we've come full circle.
Oh, I would be so mad. Don't say full circle while I'm here. Jesus Christ, I cannot believe it. Only 2 or 3 seconds. I don't know how much was left. Kiwi wanted to go for the duel, and it cost them another round as we're heading on to the last one of Futbolist defense here on ASCENT. And guys, if you're watching at home, things are not looking good for Futbolist here. It's still not over, but we cannot deny the obvious of what we're seeing right now, and we're seeing a G2 that even, you know, not finding or not having the cleanest rounds, we could say they're scoring all of them. And even on the attack, they're being able to just create that difference. They have the Cosmic Divide for this last one, makes us already very close to the Seekers, only one orb away.
Yeah, you could lose that Cosmic Divide, though, right? If AvovA hits some horrific timing and goes down, that's kind of devastating. But if he's able to shut down this push, this info play...
He knows that smoke is too suspicious. It's sus, you know? This is sus smoke.
It's sus, man. They vented. Look out. Among Us memes, everyone. Over here in mid. Oh, so awful for Kiwi. And now AvovA... Given time to strike, STERBEN will answer back, and he's still got his ult. He's still got that TP available, right? So he can look to reposition here. He can look to keep you guessing. koldamenta, that was the chance to thin out the herd, to cut down these rotations. Time's of the essence. You've only got 25 seconds as the push is coming in, and with STERBEN still late lurking. koldamenta's trying to create space, trying to create room, and he's going to spam out SasuKe. There's the closer, mixwell. Finishes it off and puts 10 on the board for G2, who are... Maybe if they find a pistol, you can start to believe again. But without it, this should be G2's victory all day long.
nukkye here onto short. He's going to be fighting with that drone soon, trying to gather the information for Futbolist, and Kiwi following it on this entrance. He also closed the door behind him because he's a gentleman.
Oh, Kiwi. Oh, no. He was trying to hit a timing. He thought he'd found the golden ticket, but instead, no ticket to ride. keloqz only good for one. mixwell's looking to fight as well, and he wants this done. He wants it over. Can't get past STERBEN, but he's left him in a 1-on-3.
Let's be honest, he couldn't get past STERBEN because he has a Classic, and the Classic is just OP. He's going to manage to get the plant, but still, it's a 1v3. He's only 35 HP. And I would say it's mostly like a matter of time. The stun coming in from AvovA.
Oh yeah, no, this is unenviable, mate. They just run him down. And I love that once again, like, It's so oppressive, never giving room, right? You know, the only way that he gets away with his usual clutching antics is if you give him respect or if you make mistakes, and you can't make mistakes if all three of you are just fighting it together, knowing he's got no util left to play with.
Oh, this makes me kind of sad. This is not the third map that I was expecting. This is not what, you know, the rest of the day has been building up us for. And Futbolist is going to go for the force. That is going to be, you know, much helpful thanks to the plant coming from STERBEN. But yeah, it's not really looking good for them. Probably G2 is going to go, you know, and stop that B rush that they could potentially think of. Yeah, we're seeing the wall here coming in. Don't want to say that I called it, but I called it. No, they do this a lot. And obviously, is a smart one.
Right there.
keloqz with the Marshall.
Oh, it's a slaughter.
Yeah.
They flash through and they come a knocking.
Yep, they really
and,
want to close it, Harry.
Yeah,
you were right.
They really want this done. They're like, look, no overtimes today. This is our series. It always was, and now they're looking to really sell us on that.
Is the momentum, is the mental state that Futbolist has to be in. It's just a lot to take in. They're not going to have, you know, much money to buy. Obviously, they need to force as much as, I mean, every single round. If they manage to save, how many? 10 match points?
Yeah, you know, it would be one hell of an achievement. But something tells me
It's been
it's
done
not
before.
going to happen.
It's been
right?
done. Is it going to happen? I don't know. I think they're just tired. They're just exhausted.
Well, it might all end on the back of this B play. They are grouping everyone up here. Wall down for nukkye again, just to slow them on the approach. And look at the rotations already. 3 strong here for G2. They know what's happening. They're ready for it. But is that going to make it any easier? nukkye with the opening. STERBEN answers back, and the kills go either which way. But in comes keloqz's Sheriff. Good for a double. mixwell and AvovA, they might not have much to fight with here. Only these Spectres in hand. Woo! Come on now, there's the swing. mixwell shuts him out. And that's the spike as well. Heartbreaking, all on STERBEN again. And even though, you know, if this was the previous 2 maps, I'd be telling you, this guy in clutch is not to be messed with. Well, once we've gotten onto ASCENT, they've all come up short. So either this is the STERBEN redemption moment, or this is where G2 steal it away, and it's going to be the latter. It is an